leaders that are sitting in DC have nothing in comparison to what we have gone through and what we have faced dealing with them. But I'm here to tell you that bombs are not going to bring us freedom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome.
The things that no one talks about, the things that they give you all this bullshit in media that we are doing precision attacks, that we are doing this. What they don't show you is that within 4 nights, 250 civilians have been killed in Iran. What they are... What they don't show you is that Israel is bombing every infrastructure that is there. It's bombing hospitals. It's bombing all the water supply centers. These are the things that you won't see anywhere in the media. Like always, you know, the average civilians are the ones that are paying for this propaganda. They are the ones that their life is being upheld. Like Trump comes overnight and be like, people of Tehran, like, evacuate. There's 17 million people, twice the size of New York. Where do they go? What do they do? Shit. That's not how it works.
What's up, everybody? You're getting warmed up.
This is not only about Israel. America is the main culprit in all of that. They are the ones that sign up on that. They are the ones that give all the permissions. They are the ones that turn the blind eye toward all the genocide that they are doing. It's all the European countries. It's France, it's Germany. They, you know, their silence, the weapons that they give to people. All of these countries that claim that they are like the upholders of human rights are the ones that are laughing and enjoying the civilians being killed right now. Israel has been doing that for 8 years, but specifically in the last 2 years. They started with the genocide in Gaza, then they went to Lebanon, then they went to Syria, today they are in Iran. Do you think it will stop in Iran? No. They will continue doing this as long as we let them do that. They have some elements that they do everywhere, you know, they specifically target the civilians. Their signature move is bombing the children's hospital. And that's the very first thing they did in Tehran, was bomb a children's hospital there. And we are here, if you listen to the media, if you listen to the politicians, they are all standing. Today I read a statistic that 180 Congress members and senators have said that they stand with Israel, and that Israel is the victim. Like, shame!
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Couple things, quite a bit of things that I wanted to go over, and I've been holding and saving, and I just can't anymore. I don't have any more space. We gotta get into this news, all the updates. We're gonna talk about the Iran-Israel stuff, the latest stuff, but also at some point we're gonna get into these deportations, because they're happening. I found a couple of videos of people being arrested, people's family, people saying they regret voting, Trump supporter that voted multiple, and their family got deported, and now they regret it. But you know, I had a conversation with somebody this morning, and they were telling me, like, Trump told you this is what he was gonna do, you know, so he's doing what he said he was gonna do. But some of these people are arguing, and I want to play it later in the stream. They're saying, well, we thought it was just going to be like the criminals. I mean, they're technically all considered that, but you know what I mean, like violent offenders and whatever. So a lot of people are upset. And so today they also had these no war protests. There's been all this stuff, a divide happening between the right, where people are really upset with Trump, and they're like, you ran on no wars. But then there's the other side that they're standing by him and they support him, and they're like, this is just a negotiation tactic, and they trust him. So it's a mess. It's a mess. We're gonna get into it.
Hands off the Middle East. Hands off the Middle East. From the
hands off the Middle East.
Hands off the Middle East. Hands off the Middle East. Thank you very much for being here. When Iran is under attack, what do we do? When Iran is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? When Iran is under attack, what do we do?
All right. So we're live everywhere now, ready to roll with the live stream. And one of the latest things that's happened, man, is they're talking about this Israel issues evacuation warning near Iran's Arak nuclear complex. I feel like I should get the skyline. I should get the skyline up in case, in case things pop off while we're streaming. Here's the skyline. One of the skylines here. Skyline. Daylight's coming out. So they're saying that there's this Iran's Arak nuclear complex airstrikes expected. And so they're saying here, Israel's military warned people Thursday to evacuate the area around Iran's Arak heavy water reactor. The warning came in social media post on X. It included a satellite image of the red in a red circle, like others' warnings that precede strikes. Iran agreed under its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers to redesign the facility to relieve proliferation concerns. In 2019, Iran started up the heavy water reactor secondary circuit, which at the time did not violate Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal with the world. But, and we talked about this multiple times, Britain at the time was helping Iran redesign the Arak reactor to limit the amount of plutonium it produces, stepping in for the U.S., which has withdrawn its project after Trump's decision to ultimately unilaterally withdraw. So that's one of the latest threats right now, and you can see here again. We'll take a look at it. They're issuing a warning for people to leave, run for the hills. Well, the place in Iran is called Arak Nuclear Complex. So that's happening. Expect strikes to come soon with that. Now, the massive protest, too, that's going on, the war. This was in New York earlier, waving Iranian regime flags. No U.S.-Israel war in Iran. And they launched a missile earlier today. Iranian missile launch caught on camera. This is supposedly like a newer missile. Check this out. Damn. I don't think that actually landed. We talked about the White House already. Oh, yeah, by the way, last night, remember, there was supposed to be a chilling warning. We remember last night? I think we mentioned it at some point. They said there was some type of warning, a surprise tonight. Nothing ever happened. And Grok here said, cannot verify the claim that Iranian state issued a warning about a surprise tonight. No credible sources. Nothing ever came. Everybody waited. Nothing happened. This was supposedly the news source right here. Rush it. Iran. This was also this was yesterday, but these were some 25 ballistic missiles that were fired. It spreads more, not a new one. It's just going higher above the atmosphere, spreads more when there's no air. Interesting. That's what iCkEDMELs do. Israel, they're saying, have maintained aerial superiority over Tehran, targeting over 100 sites in consecutive days. They're saying reportedly there's over 600 casualties on the Iran side, civilians and military. It says Israel suffered around 24 fatalities. I haven't really heard that yet. That's interesting. From Iranian retaliatory strikes.
ولا مكثرين هالمرة كليكو ولا هاي.
Everything's via air. This video too, so I wanted to share this with you, but I thought this video was like BS. It was BS. But it said Iran media shared a video like this. Imagine. Look at this thing. This thing went viral, 6 million views. Be careful with the copyright. These people left and right coming with the copyright claims. You know these they didn't post no video like rubbing and petting a nuclear bomb. Oh my god, that went viral yesterday. That had 6 million views. A handheld nuke. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this was interesting too. Supposedly Putin dismisses U.S. talk of targeting Khamenei. Putin said he doesn't even want to discuss the idea of U.S. eliminating Iran's supreme leader. Would Russia be pissed off? Would it cause problems there? Trump was talking about it. We know where you're hiding. This image went viral yesterday too, but they're saying this was actually from June 12th. There's a lot of fake stuff being posted online. You gotta be careful too. A lot of fake stuff going on. Repurposing stuff like that from different events. Oh, I wanted to show this. Tucker Carlson hits Ted Cruz with gotcha questions.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
claims, know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
He was right about the makeup. Let me see. The makeup.
An expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the... No, it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we.
What do they call that? A slip up, a fraudulent slip or something? Fraudulent?
Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
we are supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Hey.
That's just one of the clips. We're going to have to check out the rest later, too. I have some other clips, but I don't know if we can watch the whole thing, but I want to listen to some of it. There was a lot of flack, a lot of heat, people picking sides. Airstrike struck District 18. This was yesterday, too. Just want to show what this looks like. Tucker Charleston has lost my support. What does he do? What do you think? Yeah, Tucker's going for Trump. I don't want to go to war either. You know what I'm saying? But people are talking about that Iran with a nuke is not a good thing. Tucker flip-flop. Tucker is the BuzzFeed of politics. That's the first time I heard that. Oh my God. Yo. That's wild. It's crazy. By the way, I heard this and I was, well, I guess I shouldn't say shocked, but they're saying the Trump phone is going to be a China manufactured. No. I've been mentioning this a little bit because people are talking about it's coming out. Thing is, there's just no way possible. I don't think you can manufacture this in America and it be $499. And honestly, the $499 price you're getting for the specs that I looked at, it's I would say like a medium tier phone for that price, you know. And even that $499, I think if people buy it, it's for a flex. You want to stunt, you want to support, you want to have the Trump phone, but it's not. From what I've seen, it's not really a high end phone. We have to see the final specs. They say this is accurate. The T1 smartphone will almost certainly be manufactured in China. China! It's a rebranded Chinese-made WingTech Revel 7 Pro 5G. Really? And that the assembly in the U.S. is impossible given the current chain supplies. Well, I guess that too then. Although marketed as built in the United States, reports suggest the smartphone is likely manufactured in China. We're really gonna have to find out about that. I figured a lot of these parts are gonna have to get it from somewhere else. South China, Asia, especially China, is the only place producing AMOLED screens. Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. The Trump phone, I don't know, man. All right, so Americans agree stop Iran from going nuclear. What do you guys think in the chat? I guess that means us having to intervene. This may be the only issue where Republicans and Democrats actually see eye to eye. Wow. According to the CNN polling, 83% of Republicans and 79% of Democrats oppose Iran getting the bomb. The data shows broad public backing for military action. Really? I feel like I haven't really seen that.
So much crazy stuff going on. I'm glad to be out in the sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Love the channel, Mel. Stay safe,
I might have to go
guys.
out there. Eventually, that might be my spot. Eventually, I might have to move out to the sticks, too. Once I'm settled and everything's done.
Trump's positions than is comically acknowledged. Oppose Iran getting a nuclear weapon. I mean, look at this. 79% of adults agree on that. They agree with Donald Trump. Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. 83% of Republicans, 79% of independents, 79% of Democrats. When you get 79% of Democrats and 83% of Republicans agreeing on anything, you know that that position is the very clear majority in this country. And so the American public is with Donald Trump. They definitely oppose Iran getting nuclear weapons.
So this is a nuance here, but, you know, Trump and Netanyahu both arguing that Iran is close to being capable of making a nuclear weapon. If that is the case, what is the feeling of Americans
it's a psychological
as to whether the
term
United States
called a Freudian slip named after Sigmund Freud, a father of psychology.
Ooh. What are you? Freudian slip, yeah. Thank you so much for the thought.
should get involved in this conflict?
Right. If you buy Donald Trump's theory of the case, and I think that's important to note, this is polling from April. If Iran's trying to make a nuclear weapon, look at this. Overall, you get the slight plurality. I mean, it's within the margin of error, but the slight plurality of Americans actually favor U.S. airstrikes compared to 47% opposing it. Now, here's the...
Wow. I didn't know that. How do you guys feel like that too?
The other nugget I'll note, right? There's been a lot of talk online and on social media and in podcasts of a divide within the Republican ranks. But here on this question, if Iran's trying to make a nuclear weapon, look at that. 69% of Republicans, the clear vast majority of Republicans, favor U.S. airstrikes on Iran, on their nuclear facilities. But there is this substantial minority, 27%, who oppose such an idea. So it's not surprising you're hearing those other voices besides Donald Trump out there. There are plenty of them in the Republican ranks who oppose the U.S. striking Iran if they're trying to make a nuclear weapon. But the clear majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump if, in fact, Iran is trying to make nuclear weapons. They do, in fact, potentially favor U.S. airstrikes.
Gotta mute that. It's a little too loud. So interesting poll. Israel opposition sides with Netanyahu and Iran. Even Netanyahu's loudest critic says he made the right call. Opposition leader Yair Lapid. We didn't declare war on Iran. Iran has declared war on Israel. Okay.
For his judicial reform, for his legal troubles, you were a few days ago trying to bring down his government. However, now you fully support the war he launched against Iran. Why?
Because it's the right war, because he did the right thing. And first and foremost, I'm an Israeli patriot, and when the government is doing the right thing, you're right, he is my political rival, always has been, or at least in the last decade, and we differ in so many other issues, but we had to do what we are doing now in order to make sure that Iran doesn't become a nuclear country, or doesn't pass the nuclear threshold and have the nuclear abilities, because it's a threat, existential threat to Israel and a threat to the entire world. And on top of this, there was a moment in which we thought they might have more ballistic missiles than we have interceptors, and therefore this attack had to be launched. We didn't declare war on Iran. Iran has declared war on Israel and the Jewish people decades ago. We are now just responding to a situation that became more and more dangerous.
I know, because Iran's like crazy, right? Like I mean, I'm not the expert on this stuff, so I don't know. Like I don't want war, but at the same time, like I understand. I guess I'd have to look into it more. These people are crazy, right? Like I don't know. You do really want them having nuclear weapons? This was on The View, our favorite show on the channel. Whoopi Goldberg says black people living in America have it just as bad as people living in Iran. Bro, are you kidding me with this? The View. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. Appreciate it if you could hit the like button. The View.
Remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings.
That's true.
They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
But where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Toronto.
Listen, I'm sorry.
I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes,
it is up to them.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Guys, don't go to Tehran. Do not anyone at this table should go to Tehran.
Let me tell you about being in this country. This is the greatest country in the world. But, yeah, I know that.
I hope you know.
And we all know that. But every day we are worried Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are our kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood? They are not big deals, and I don't mean to say they're not big deals to you, because that's not what I meant.
And they are not doing well there either. They are not doing well in Iran. They are not educated.
Yeah, look at go live over there then. If it's the same over here, go live over there and see how it is see how they treat you over there, Whoopi.
They not talking about the United States. I'm talking about here.
Nobody wants to diminish the very real problems we have in this country. That is no one's intent. But I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights.
Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
Okay, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe.
They can't go out of their house. The women.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
Let me try something. It's like try to reverse roles with a black person in this country, let's say, because I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Just try to understand from their point of view. From that point of view, this country does not do them well. Does not go for them.
I completely acknowledge that.
And we shouldn't compare atrocities.
If you're talking about Iran, of course, is doing worse things. But relatively speaking, it feels bad.
They should all go host the show in Iran then. Move the show over to Iran.
I think you know that Iran is significantly
I guess we're going to come back.
Listen, I was in college.
We're going to come back and talk more about
this. And I know what happened.
Wow. Incredible. The ladies on The View. Oh, this was the missile that I was talking about earlier. This was the new one that, well, I say new, but maybe the latest that was fired. I guess it's not new. Iran's Revolutionary Guard firing the CG-2, a two-stage solid fuel missile. An Israeli source says the missile aimed at Gush Dan was heavier than usual. It reportedly carried a large explosive payload than previous launches. This missile has been used before, but only in limited numbers. The Senate's telling Trump, you cannot strike Iran without our approval. And supposedly Trump, they were saying, had some type of private meeting where he approved the strike. It's not like they're not going to strike yet, but he's like approved the plan or something behind the scenes. And they were talking earlier today too, which I think would be interesting. Iran, I don't even know. I have to double check because a lot of the stuff coming through, you got to double, triple check. They were saying that supposedly Iran wanted to meet with, I think I have it somewhere, but I thought they said that, I think I actually do have a clip. I thought Trump said something about Iran wanting to meet or go to the White House. What happened to Tucker? Here's another clip. My understanding is that AIPAC lobbies on behalf of Israel government. I think they do, though. This part here, check this out.
So I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC
the Israel lobby
raises a lot of money for me, but it's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. Right. So it's not the PAC itself, but they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship and relationship.
Is AIPAC a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. It's the AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action Committee.
What does it lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
And I've worked every day to do that. AIPAC, a lot of times, AIPAC, I wish were much more effective. Like, there are folks online who are in the fever swamp of terrified of AIPAC, and AIPAC...
I'm not terrified of AIPAC at all. You're the one who seems a little uncomfortable when I'm asking.
No, not uncomfortable at all.
I'm just asking what AIPAC does. My understanding, having known a lot of people who work at AIPAC, is that it lobbies on behalf of the Israeli government.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's
when was the last time AIPAC took a position that deviated from Prime Minister Netanyahu?
All the time.
Name one.
Okay. Let me go back and give a little history. If you want to do a deep dive on AIPAC,
I don't. I want to do a shallow dive that gets.
No.
I want to get to the core question. AIPAC is lobbying for a foreign government, and I don't. It's not.
No.
It's lobbying for the United States.
It is lobbying for a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship.
Okay. So it's not has nothing to do with the foreign government.
It it wants America and Israel to be closely allied.
Okay, but it's lobbying on behalf of the interests of another country.
So that's not true at all. And if
it's not true.
No. And
how much contact do you think AIPAC leaders have with the government of Israel?
No idea. I imagine some. I think the government of Israel is often frustrated with AIPAC because AIPAC's not nearly strong enough.
Do you think there's any coordination between the government of Israel and AIPAC?
Do they talk? Sure. If you're lobbying for more U.S.-Mexico trade, would you talk to people in the U.S. and Mexico and the government? Sure. Like if...
So I'm not mad about that. There are a million countries that lobby Washington. I like a lot of those countries, including Israel.
But AIPAC are Americans. They're not Israelis.
Hold on. There are tons of Americans who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. I know them. I'm related to some of them. I know how it works. I'm from here. So my question is not, is it outrageous that foreign governments lobby the United States? They all do, okay, including Israel. My only question is, why don't we admit that is what's happening? You're denying it, but it's true.
Yeah,
and
why what you're saying is false.
Why aren't they registered as a foreign lobby?
Because they're not.
Those are the clips that Tucker put out, so I didn't really, they were like promotional clips. So I get to see the other side, but 1.8 million AIPAC tracker. Damn. Why it is very unlikely Iran would nuke New York. Okay. They're saying supposedly Teddy was fear-mongering in a 15-second clip.
You need an ICBM to get to America. If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, I think the odds are unacceptably high that we would find out with a mushroom cloud over New York City or Los Angeles or Tel Aviv in Israel. And you need an ICBM to get to America. If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, I think the odds are unacceptably high that we would find out with a mushroom cloud over New York City or Los Angeles or Tel Aviv in Israel. And you need an ICBM.
Sorry, play that close. Trump. The decision has already been made. President Trump is on the final stages of launching a massive attack on Iran in the coming days. Nuclear targeting. Launch codes were sent to the submarines and B-52 bombers 3 days ago, and now the presidential E-4B doomsday plane has landed near D.C. We did see that. We'll just see here a second.
I know Trump's E-4B doomsday plane lands near D.C. amid Israel-Iran war. Trump met with the head of the Pakistani army and has been in phone conversations with their defense minister, as well as the leader of Pakistan, to try to get them to back down from saying they're going to come in against Israel and the U.S. if the United States officially goes to war with Iran. Russia has said so far they're going to stay out of it, even though they have a defense pact with Iran. China has said they are going to back Iran and have never come closer than they are right now to invading Taiwan. So we are in the most dangerous time. This is way more dangerous than the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Really?
And that was one of the most dangerous times previously for nuclear war. I mean, we are just so close to this right now. And they got the doomsday planes ready. And that's what the president's going to go on in the air during a nuclear war, because it's heavily shielded from EMF, from detonating hydrogen bombs.
No surrender. Let's check on the poll real quick on. So the poll says, do you support U.S. airstrikes in Iran? Oh, why don't we, this for the new people, if you didn't know, the channel is like infamous for having like these 50-50 polls. So I almost stopped asking critical questions. This one's kind of like whatever, kind of just want to gauge you guys. But sometimes it's like, what guys do what want to watch next? What do you want to cover next? What should we do, this or that? And it's like this 50-50 crap. The chat is literally split. 1,300 votes. 51% say yes for Iran, airstrikes on Iran. Blow them the hell up. 49% say no. Wow. Wow.
And of course, there's at least 5 of them, and they've had them out and moving around. And they've, of course, moved now more than 50 of the big tankers that fuel all the different fighter bombers and jets to the Middle East. So there's about a 99% chance right now that sometime in the next 7 days, and I think it's Thursday night, Friday morning, the United States is going to hit dozens of major sites with bunker-busting missiles that is now put in serious danger by these massive New World War escalations as we enter day 6. No surrender. U.S. weighs strikes. Iran readies bombs to hit U.S. targets. They're definitely going to hit the aircraft carriers. Very interesting. The Nimitz was set to be decommissioned next month, but it got sent magically out so that it can be part of the new Pearl Harbor 2.0. Hopefully talking about that and pointing it out means that won't happen, but you don't even need to false flag it. The Iranians, their main attack is going to be basically suicide boats. No need to have a robot running it. They got humans that are willing to die, and they're just going to attack with gunboats and run up against them. Torpedoes, you name it. I mean, this is a big deal. And the U.S. is already at war with Iran, as I said last Friday, a day into this. And, of course, now Ted Cruz admitted that in an interview with Tucker Carlson that the U.S. is running all this. Trump did not know about the doubling of drone attacks in Russia that led to Putin increasing attacks, and I was right about that because I know what I'm talking about. He was involved in this, and they tried to distance it a little bit because they were thinking about some détente, and maybe the mullahs would come to the table. But sometime in the last few days, the decision was made to not let them come to the table, and that we're just going to try to have regime change. So this is a big deal, obviously, on so many other fronts. Now, there have been a bunch of other huge stories that have been overshadowed by this insane level of military escalation. And one of them came out yesterday, and more's come out since then, and I did not even cover it, and it's not really getting any attention, and it's so huge. And then when you look at this story, it makes you think about all we've got.
Let me skip a little bit. I just wanted to see what he was talking about. The end is near. Top commodity aid reportedly in talks with Russia for possible escape ramp.
If it officially joins the war against the Iranian regime, and the goal is regime change. Now, here's the bottom line. The nuclear targeting codes and launch codes were sent to the submarines and B-52 bombers and other offensive, defensive nuclear systems 3 days ago. They haven't announced it, but you know the DEFCON's risen right up to the level right below nuclear war. Report, presidential E-4B doomsday plane, presidential E-4B doomsday plane lands near D.C. amid Israel-Iran war. Trump met with the head of the Pakistani army and has been in phone conversations with their defense minister, as well as the leader of Pakistan, to try to get them to back down from saying they're going to.
All right. Let's skip forward. All right. So crazy. That's Alex Jones on it. Oh, I talked about this already earlier. The crane guy that kind of fell asleep. Trump put up the flags. He kind of, I guess, decided to take a little nap on the crane. Shows him falling asleep there on the crane. The view, we got that. This was another angle of the missile that was launched.
نمیدونیم چیه.
Y'all wanna go to war.
چی هستن داره اینجوری میره بالا؟
Ted Cruz to best use the Bible to justify his support for Israel bombing Iran.
Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... To bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel.
Oh, shit.
So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the...
It's in Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker...
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two,
hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
So is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yeah, nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the descendants
God's
of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
And by the way, it's not run by Benjamin Netanyahu as a dictator. It's a democratic country that elected.
He's the prime minister.
Right.
What?
But just like, America is the country run by Donald Trump. No, actually, the American people elected Donald Trump. The same principle
This is silly. I'm talking about the political entity of modern Israel.
Yes, and that is
You believe
Israel.
That's what God was talking about in Genesis.
I do, but
that country's existed since when?
For thousands of years. Now, there was a time when it didn't exist, and then it was recreated just over 70 years ago.
I'm saying, I think most people understand that line in Genesis to refer to the Jewish people, God's chosen people.
That's not what it says.
Okay, Israel, but you don't even know where in the Bible it is.
Yeah, it said Israel's God's chosen people. Everybody else were nothing. Look at that missile. It looks kind of cool in the air. This was one of the strikes that had hit. Initial fears of mass casualties have not materialized, offering a rare moment of relief. Officials credit the resilience of the home front and the public's discipline under pressure. Despite good news, the public is being urged to stay alert. Don't relax. That's a close-up picture, I guess, of the damage. Oh, this was interesting too. So supposedly, and this is according to Iran, Iran says busted Mossad-linked bomb plot. They say supposedly this was almost like a police chase.
Watching the world burn live while playing Balatro and drinking a Bud Light feels so dystopian. My heart is with all the innocent civilians.
It's crazy. Thanks, TJ. They have that dramatic music too. So they stopped the bomb plot, is what they're saying. I don't know. Is this supposed to be a Bollywood trailer? Bollywood. It's clearly not a real body cam. Yeah, so the guy was just, I mean, maybe he was just happened to be there. Or was this all planned? So Laura Loomer is trying to kind of go in on Tucker Carlson, and she's saying, well, he's taking money from Qatar, alleging, don't ever get on your knees for Arabs. It always blows up on your face, she says. Tucker Carlson, interview with Prime Minister of Qatar. Foreign principal engaged in political. I mean, I don't see an amount there, but looks like this other thing. So this is what I was saying. He was right about. Tucker Carlson, what's the ethnic makeup of Iran? Ted Cruz says Persian, mostly Shia. Tucker Carlson, bizarre laugh. His laugh is crazy. Tucker's laugh, oh my God. You don't know a thing about Iran. Yes, that's correct. AI says the vast majority of Iranians are Shia Muslims. So he was right, and they primarily identify as Persian. This was Trump. Oh, this is kind of, I guess, funny. This was earlier today. These are the guys that constructed or built, put up the flag.
To us fellas, they gave. Do we have anybody in here that's a member of the? No, I don't think so. You've known all these people for a long time. Any illegal immigrants in here now? If they were, they'll find out. Right. They'll be checking you. You won't believe. Your whole life will be destroyed because of this press conference. Watch. They'll destroy these people. I didn't want to tell them that before they stood up. They'll end up being us. He's a so-and-so. This one is from you know where. Don't worry. I think you're going to be okay. Sure. I'll be right behind you. Far behind you. I'll be right behind you. Now look, we have to take. Gave to us, fellas.
Wow. U.S. businesses are being warned. Brace for an Iranian cyber attack as war with Israel escalates. So some people are being warned. Some people are afraid. I'm not particularly worried about Iran's cyber attack, but who knows? Maybe they have capabilities. Two leading U.S. cybersecurity organizations are urging American businesses to brace for potential wave of cyber attacks from Iran as the country is engaged in escalating hostilities with Israel. The Information Technology Information Sharing and Analysis Center, ISAC, and Food and Agriculture issued a joint statement. Historically, Iranian state-sponsored actors, pro-Iranian activist groups, and financially motivated cyber criminals have launched attacks against U.S. organizations. Okay. So be careful. Even though they already have all our information. They're coming. The Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has vowed that he won't surrender. You remember Trump said, surrender. Only surrender. That's all. I forgot exactly. He said full surrender or something. He said, we're not going to surrender. He's being stubborn. Stubborn mule. Oh, this was an interesting clip, too. I had read about this.
Obama left office. He sent $1.7 billion in cash to Iran. The money was delivered in actual cash, stacked on pallets, and flown into the country. It happened in January 2016 when Obama authorized the transfer of the money to the nation known for sponsoring terrorism. The funds were allegedly part of a long-standing financial obligation stemming from a pre-1979 agreement. Prior to the Iranian Revolution, the United States had committed to supplying Iran with military equipment. However, following the revolution, the transaction was abandoned, leaving Iran to claim reimbursement for the $400 million initially paid. With the accrued interest, this amount spiked to $1.7 billion. The Obama administration decided to resolve the debt. On January 17th of 2016, an aircraft arrived in Iran carrying $400 million in cash loaded onto pallets. The remaining remaining balance of the $1.7 billion was delivered in subsequent shipments. Now, as Israel continues its attacks on Iranian nuclear and military sites, President Donald Trump is deciding how involved the United States will become in this war. Many pointing straight back to Obama as the reason Iran had the funding to continue paying for terror and start building up their nuclear programs.
Wow. We're going to take a look at these in a second here. I think I mentioned this yesterday. Most people woke up the morning of September 10th, 2001, thinking radical Islam isn't my problem. 2 days later, we promised to never forget, and we're breaking that promise. Some people replying, Israel did it. Those people that believe that Israel is behind 9/11. We're going to get to these stories. These are some crazy ones. This is for the war. We're not looking for long-term war. I only want one thing. Iran cannot have.
Afraid that we're going to get into a long-term. We're not looking for a long-term war. We're looking. I only want one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Right. That's it. I'm not looking long-term, short-term. And I've been saying that for 20 years. I've been saying it as a civilian who got a lot of publicity. People would cover it. Very simply, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's it. It's not a question of anything else. And if you did, you wouldn't have much of a country because they would use it on us and they'd use it on other people and they'd be a terror all over the world.
Some of the people on the base don't want a long.
Trump. Oh, we got to fit this in. What's her name? Jean Carroll. Oh, she's still around. This is the lady that accused Trump of R. This is also the lady that she said she thought that R is sexy. She thought rape was sexy. On live TV. So apparently she's still upset and thinking about Trump, Jean Carroll, and now she's saying, check out what she's saying now. She's going to take the money that she got, what she's going to do with the money.
I know my own pleasures, and they don't, that doesn't involve buying things. Where my pleasure comes is making him so pissed off he can't think. We need to prick his little balloon constantly. And one of the ways to do that is to give his money to women's reproductive rights.
Oh, hell yeah.
To binding up the wounds of democracy, which he is destroying by the very instant that we're sitting here, shoring up voting rights. Can you imagine how angry he takes his, he made $600 million last year on Bitcoin.
Grifting.
And as Robbie says, do you know anybody except criminals who make money on Bitcoin? No, do we? We don't. Anyway, so it's just so delicious thinking about how pissed off he'll be, how angry that his own personal money is going to help women. Ah, heaven. It's the revenge that we all love.
Revenge? Is that what she said?
That we all love. The revenge.
It's revenge that we all love. So you can see that like her whole life is Trump. You would have thought she'd take the money, whatever money she got, and use it towards something that, I don't know, either herself or something that's she just wants to try to, anything, it doesn't have anything to do with herself or humanitarian reasons. Her only motivation is Trump. Her whole life revolves around Trump. Her whole life dedication, her whole entity, her whole being. She wakes up thinking about him. She goes to sleep thinking about him. She dreams about him. She, her whole identity is Trump. She has no identity besides Trump. It's all she'll ever be known for. And so she's here on TV still going on. I guess she put out a book on him too. Jean Carroll unleashes on Trump, a new explosive book. So she's just a Jean Carroll update. We're going to get into this story too crazy. We're going to get into this one too. We're going to get into this one too. That's a crazy one. Trump says he speaks with Netanyahu every day and told him to keep going.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu
said, keep going. What do I say? I speak to him every day. He's a good man, doing a lot. Been very unfairly treated by his country, I think. Very unfairly treated.
Have you given him any indication that you may seek to aid them more than you have already?
No, I haven't. So far, he's doing a good job. He has been treated very unfairly by his country. You know, he's a wartime president, and he's going through this nonsense. It's ridiculous.
Sounds like you had a good meeting. Agree with him, Mr. President. Can you share?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, this is the clip. I don't know where this clip came from. I'll have to look this up. I'll have to see if this is true. I'm going to try to find this. But this is a clip from Tulsi. I don't know where they got this clip from.
Political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to.
The video recorded during her visit to Hiroshima directly criticized escalating war rhetoric, particularly around Iran and potential Israeli strikes. Trump was reportedly furious, viewing it as undermining his administration's message, even rebuking her in person. Really? What? Ooh, hold on. We got a full clip here, I guess. This was, yeah, hold on. Let's take a look at the full clip. So it says here, Donald Trump is furious and losing confidence in his DNI Tulsi Gabbard over her June 10th video warning of nuclear annihilation. According to a political report, he rebuked her in person for going off message and has been kind of down on her in general. I don't think he dislikes her as a person, but certainly the video made him not super hot on her. Okay.
I recently visited Hiroshima in Japan and stood at the epicenter of a city that remains scarred by the unimaginable horror caused by a single nuclear bomb dropped in 1945, 80 years ago. It's hard for me to find the words to express what I saw, the stories that I heard, the haunting sadness that still remains. This is an experience that will stay with me forever. This attack obliterated the city, killed over 300,000 people, many dying instantly while others died from severe burns, injuries, radiation sickness, and cancer that set in the following months and years. Nagasaki suffered the same fate. Homes, schools, families, all gone in a flash. The survivors, the hibakusha, they carried the pain of extreme burns, radiation sickness, and loss for decades. Survivors of this attack were asked to put in paintings and drawings their own memories and how they felt and what they saw, and those paintings and the suffering that they conveyed, the pain and the sense of loss were almost more powerful than the photos themselves. Yet this one bomb that caused so much destruction in Hiroshima was tiny compared to today's nuclear bombs. The bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of just 15 kilotons of TNT, whereas today's nuclear warheads range in size from 100 kilotons to over 1 megaton. A single nuclear weapon today could kill millions in just minutes. Just one of these nuclear bombs would vaporize everything at its core: people, buildings, life itself. The shockwave would crush structures miles away, killing and maiming countless people. And then comes the fallout. Radioactive poison spreading through the air, water, and soil, condemning survivors to agonizing deaths or lifelong suffering. A nuclear winter could follow, with smoke and ash completely blocking the sun, plunging the world into darkness and cold, killing crops and starving billions. Acid rain would scar the earth, wiping out entire ecosystems.
Yes.
This isn't some made-up science fiction story. This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to. So it's up to us, the people, to speak up and demand an end to this madness. We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
Trump was pissed. Trump wasn't too happy about that.
Believe Iran. Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to that.
You've always said that you don't believe Iran.
I do have a clip too where they show that like it's coming up somewhere. The perfect timing. Where they've been saying this thing with the bomb thing for a long time, at least Netanyahu. This was June 12th. Hold on a second, let me full screen it. June 12th. Hey, where's the volume?
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal,
2018,
the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly. If they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to have
2006,
about
2012.
90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year. 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not stopped.
That's crazy. No, this was kind of funny too, I guess.
Have you been answered questions about whether you are moving closer, or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities? Where's your mindset on that?
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm...
What I was kind of talking the other day. I think this is, he's trying to pressure Iran into, it's just my guess, you know, I think he's trying to pressure Iran into working out some deal. I think that he knows that if they do strikes, there's going to be a lot of people upset. I think it's his way of pressuring him, but I don't know, man. I'm also kind of thinking if he has no choice, maybe he will do it. You know, but I just think this Iran people are so stubborn. I don't think they're going to come to the table.
I'm going to answer that question. Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm...
Nobody knows. He's keeping it up in the air. He's not showing his deck of cards.
Mindset on that.
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question. Will you strike the Iranian...
Mr. Trump.
Have you been answered questions about whether you are moving closer, or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities? Where's your mindset on that?
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question. Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's
crazy. Oh, this was kind of funny to me last night. So people were freaking out on X. People were all over, losing their minds. Wine Crime, thank you for the 27 months. That's amazing. Thank you for your support. What's happening with the lighthouse, the White House? And people were like thinking like it's some type of cyber attack. I looked at it too. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Hold on. Like, check this out. Cyber attack, lights out. Well, apparently, according to Grok, all it is that they do this every night. They just turn off. I'm surprised. I didn't know. I didn't think they turn off the lights every night. The White House lights going out is a routine nightly practice, typically around 11 p.m. Eastern. Not a new event. The fireworks in the video are typically from the U.S. Army 250 parade on June 14, not June 17. I don't know. I didn't know they do that. They turn off the lights. They need to keep the lights on all the time, 24/7. Oh, it's a test? Extra Eye said I lived in D.C. It's a test. Forgot to pay the electric bill, Doge. They're cutting off the lights, to save power and shit. The bill's too expensive. Yeah. Trump playing with the dimmers for cheeseburgers. Oh my God. Oh, this is another. I think we saw this compilation. Well, no, this was kind of interesting too, though. Look, CNN did this compilation, 1996.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons.
That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of...
Look at this too. This was like, he had a little chart here. Look where they're at, 2012.
By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment.
This is crazy.
And move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb.
They've been talking about this for a long time. These people having a bomb, getting a bomb. Trump says Ataloya can run, but he can't hide. The supreme leader.
Donald Trump's ordering the Iranians to surrender unconditionally. Last night, he warned everybody to flee the capital, and now Tehran's a ghost town. Surgical strikes target Iranian nuclear scientists and military commanders have taken their toll. Windows have turned to powder, and the lobby of buildings are gone. Overnight, Israel continued to pummel missile and drone infrastructure in the western part of the country. Tel Aviv says they've destroyed over 120 Iranian missile launchers since Thursday. That's about 40% of their missile capacity. They also took out Iran's top general early this morning. He was only at the job for 4 days after his old boss was executed. Israel's already slaughtered 11 senior Iranian generals, but the regime is retaliating tonight with a barrage of ballistic missile strikes against the Jewish state. Our very own Trey Yingst just had to duck for cover in Tel Aviv on the 5.
Air defense systems are currently active over Tel Aviv with hundreds of thousands of people into bomb shelters at this moment. Unhook. Get off. All right, we're going to move. Okay. Stay with us. Stay with us.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Stay with us. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
The IDF says 80 to 90% of Iran's missiles are being intercepted by the Iron Dome and by U.S. missile defense systems in the region. And they have something up their sleeve. Israel says the Beeper operation will seem simple compared to what it has in store next. The Israeli ambassador is promising a number of surprises when the dust settles within the next 24 hours. Netanyahu still isn't ruling out an assassination strike against the Ayatollah.
And it's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict. We've had half a century of conflict spread by this regime that terrorizes everyone in the Middle East, has bombed the Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia, is spreading terrorism and subversion and sabotage everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war.
Netanyahu says killing the Iranian leader will be the end of the conflict, but it could also be the beginning of the conflict, because the next Ayatollah could be even nastier. The White House is thinking right now is it's the Ayatollah you know versus the Ayatollah you don't know. That's not to say Trump couldn't decide to swoop in and do some gigantic action. Trump already rejected Israel's original plan for regime change, but he wants Khomeini to know that he's the one keeping him alive. Quote, we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader's hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers.
This dude is crazy, man.
Our patience is wearing thin. Trump says the Iranians missed the opportunity of a lifetime.
I told them to do the deal. They should have done the deal. Their cities have been blown to pieces. They've lost a lot of people. They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal.
Trump always wanted a deal, but Netanyahu, after October 7th, had decided he was going to strike Iran anyway, with or without the United States, regardless of whether we were negotiating. Netanyahu even asked Trump for the bunker busters, but Trump said no, and was focused on signing a deal, but began to feel the Iranians were stringing us along. And after they missed their deadline and the clock ran out, he let Israel go hard the very next day. And now Trump has a big decision to make. The U.S. and Israel control the airspace over Iran. Their proxies have been gutted. Our sanctions are strangling the country, and Israel's conducting sabotage and espionage activity inside of their borders. The U.S. naval assets have surged into the region, encircling the regime in the Arabian Sea, the Gulf, and in the Mediterranean. Sources say B-52s are stationed in the Indian Ocean within striking distance of Iran. And Trump says this country cannot have a nuclear weapon.
It's very simple. We don't have to go too deep into it. They just can't have a nuclear weapon. Or what are you looking for here? An end. A real end, not a ceasefire. An end. So something that would be permanent. Yeah. Or giving up entirely. Is that okay too? Are you close there? Is that possible? Is that possible in the next 24 Why not? Certainly possible. Complete give up. That's possible.
Trump's orchestrating a massive pressure campaign to ensure the Iranians never get a nuke. Politico says it's the most consequential decision of his presidency. The Trump administration doesn't want to barrel into risky missions or regime changes, but they recognize there's a historic window of opportunity to solve a problem that's vexed U.S. presidents for decades: how to fully eliminate the Iranian nuclear program. Does the president authorize American pilots to fly B-2 bombers over Iran and drop a series of bunker busters on Fordow, the underground Iranian nuclear facility? Or does he let the Israeli air campaign put Khomeini under so much pressure that he crawls back to the negotiating table and signs away his nuke program peacefully? Trump met with his national security team earlier today and is carefully deliberating. The president just finished a call with Netanyahu this afternoon and is keeping all options on the table. He's considering dispatching J.D. Vance and negotiator Steve Witkoff to the region, while also getting assets in place if he decides to strike. Israel can't eliminate the Iranian nuclear threat by themselves. They have their own bunker busters, but none of them are powerful enough to pierce 300 feet deep underground. There's only one bomb for the job, and we have it. the MOP. The massive ordnance penetrator weighs 30,000 pounds. It's so heavy that it can only be lifted by an American B-2 bomber. And once it drops, it explodes horizontally and vertically. We've been working on it for 20 years. Trump tested one during his first term, and it's fully operational. We've used variations of bunker busters in the past, in the Iraq War to destroy deep Iraqi command centers, and then in the Afghanistan War to target al-Qaeda caves. They look like this.
Oh. Damn.
Using bunker busters against Iran's nuke sites doesn't come without a risk. The Iranians have stated that if the United States does take offensive action against them, they'll target U.S. bases and the U.S. Navy in the region. If we decimate their nuke site, we'll take away their only leverage, and they could lash out unpredictably. A dirty bomb, suicide
Up on Games, thank you so much for the 5 membership gifts. Appreciate that.
bombers, assassination attempts. Who knows? We'd have to deal with the consequences. The United States targeting Iran's nuclear facilities doesn't necessarily lead to regime change. It could domino into regime change, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee it. The commander-in-chief has campaigned against regime change and expensive quagmires, but in the first term, he wasn't shy about taking decisive action to eliminate threats when opportunities presented themselves, striking Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, and bombing ISIS off the map. No one in the administration is considering putting boots on the ground. That's what we think. But bunker busters against Iranian nuke sites would be a bold and dramatic escalation. J.D. Vance says whatever he decides, Trump will make the right call. Quote, people are right to be worried about foreign entanglement after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy, but I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue. And having seen this up close and personal, I can assure you that he is only interested in using the American military to accomplish American people's goals. Whatever he does, that is his focus.
Well, it's morning time out there. Morning time out there in Israel. Iran's nuclear and military facilities. The graphic shows Iran's key nuclear sites as well as important military naval bases. Let's pull this map up. Senator Lindsey Graham, though, he's urging Trump to go all in. Wow. And attack Iran's Fordo nuclear site, which is dug deep into the mountain in central Iran. Israel dominates the skies and has destroyed Iran's military and scientific leadership. They also done a great job to Iran's nuclear infrastructure. However, with the one site left standing, the deep underground Fordo site must be dealt with to achieve the common objective to make Iran's nuclear enrichment program end. He's telling him, get in there. Lindsey Graham. It's excited. Tehran, nuclear facilities. That's Fordo right there. Frodo, Nathans. This was bombed. I remember they said. It's a research center. Busher MPP. Military air base. Naval headquarters. Iran. This is an old video, but this was back in the day. They had burnt the flag. You remember this? I remember this back in the day. Saying death to America.
آقای گورکن مراقب باشید مجلس آتش نزنه. متشکرم. بفرمایید. اگر اروپا و کشورهای مهم
If Europe and important countries like Russia and China fill the international vacuum, perhaps there will be a way to continue on this path of a nuclear deal. Otherwise, Iran will bring President Trump to his senses with its nuclear action. This was from 2018, May 2018. Sparks fly. I think we did this already. Ted Cruz accuses Tucker of having the same foreign policy. Oh yeah, as Barack Obama and Jimmy Carter. This was interesting.
This is the most powerful country in the world. If you're calling for toppling in government, it's incumbent on you to know something about the country and to think through the consequences of that. And you haven't, and you don't. And I'm saying that's reckless.
I haven't thought. Okay, you engage in reckless rhetoric with no facts. And to be clear,
I'm not calling for the overthrow of a government.
You put out a newsletter attacking Donald Trump and calling him complicit.
Never attacked Donald Trump.
Yes, you have. And by the way,
I campaigned for Donald Trump.
Okay, yes.
And this is after anti-Semitism, this is the last refuge. You're an anti-Semite and you hate Trump.
Okay,
I love Trump.
I will read. You put out a whole newsletter saying Trump has abandoned America first. And here's what Trump said in response. Well, considering that I'm the one that developed America first and considering that the term wasn't used until I came along, I think I'm the one who decides that. For those people who say they want peace, you can't have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon. So for all of those wonderful people who don't want to do anything about Iran having a nuclear weapon, that's not peace. That was directed at you.
Man, you got me. Busted.
No, I'm just saying.
Look, my views, I like Trump. I campaigned for Trump. I know Trump. I talked to him last night. I'm not against Trump, and you know that. I think...
You did say you hate him in those texts that were exposed, though. Something like that, right? You said he hated Trump.
You're against his foreign policy.
I think that we should be very careful about entering into more foreign wars that don't help us when our country is dying.
When you say
and our
don't
country
help
is
us,
dying.
Look, yes, focus on our country. I'm all for it. But the naivete.
You don't even know how much money this costs. You don't know anything about the country whose government you want to overthrow, and you're calling me reckless.
I want to stop a lunatic who wants to murder us from getting nuclear weapons that could kill millions of Americans. You say, I can't see how that benefits America in any way. That is bizarre. And by the way, isolationism, your foreign policy is the foreign policy of Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama.
Oh, absolutely.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm a big leftist. This is so silly. I'm Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama. Okay. Let me just say one last thing.
So how is your foreign policy different from Jimmy Carter's? Seriously.
Please.
But I asked that question seriously.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Jimmy Carter?
So
what century is this? I am the product of the last 25 years, watching carefully, being involved in the periphery, and I see an unending string of foreign policy disasters that have impoverished and hurt our country.
Unending string.
Unending string. They would include Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, and our inability to stop the Houthis, by the way, in Yemen, which exposes us as weak, and I grieve over that. So these are failures. You helped preside over some of them as a member of the Senate.
What failures, foreign policy failures, have I presided over?
Well, we were unable to beat Russia in the war that you supported against Russia. You've been spending the last 3 years telling us that Vladimir Putin is evil and we're going to beat him with other people's children.
Oh, they blocked the stream. They're trying to block the stream. Did I lose you guys? Oh, shit. Hold up. They're trying to block the stream, pimpin'. Tucker Carlson. Tucker. He's trying to block me. Say your stream has been temporarily blocked. All right. Enough of Tucker. I don't know. We could play the clip. Tucker. Tucker Carlson, man. Doomsday plane. We'll see if we come back. China. Let's pull up all this stuff here. Oh, yeah. For America. I'm giving it a second to see if we're back. America. Did we lose everybody? We lost people on YouTube, I think. They blocked me. Oh yeah, it says stream suspended. Can y'all hear me or no? I didn't violate. I didn't even get into my ice part. Should I start a new stream? Don't. Ice part. Oh, there we go. We're back. Should I start a new stream? Y'all left me. Y'all didn't believe in me. All right, so I want to do. Oh, let me mute this. I want to do this last segment here. There's a couple of parts of ICE arrests, ICE baby. This is one story. He's a U.S. citizen, and now he's missing. 20-year-old Adrian Andrew Martinez. Family says he was trying to stand up for someone being harassed by ICE agents in a Pico Rivera parking lot.
Must have the Iran internet hike slightly smiling face, JK.
No, it was Tucker's content. I guess they don't want you using his content. So, a 20-year-old Adrian Andrew Martinez family says he was trying to stand up for someone being harassed by ICE agents in Pico Rivera parking lot. The footage shows at least 6 agents swarm him. He struggles, but he doesn't lay hands on them. He's forced to the ground and shoved into a CBP vehicle. His mom can't find him. No records, no attorney. They're saying this guy's missing.
Get over, homie! What the fuck? Back the fuck out, homie! I will knock you the fuck out! Get out of here! Get out of here! Hey, you forgot to cover your mad face!
They made him disappear.
Get out of the way! Get out of the
Hey, why is he hitting him? Why is he hitting him? Hey, you guys are not supposed to be hitting people.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Stay back! Stay back! Move your ball! Hey, why the fuck you guys touching people? Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here! He fucking touched me, bro! What the fuck? What is he doing? He's a fucking hard worker, bro! Calm the fuck down, hey!
Oh, man. It's crazy.
I'm not doing shit, dude. Chill. I'm not doing shit. Hey, what the fuck, dude? You can't be doing that. This is my civil right. I can fucking record you if I want. Hey, yo, what the fuck? Look. Hey, these are legal citizens, you fucking pieces of shit. Why you guys gotta hide your face? We're not doing shit. Please do. Hey, that's what works.
Oh, he's still trying to. We have to choke him.
Don't touch me, dude. What's?
Damn. He was a U.S. citizen. He was taken into custody. His family has no idea where he is. They made him disappear. Dang. He was acting out, though. He was acting wild. I don't know. Now, this lady, they're saying she's a Florida woman, that she voted for Trump, but now that her father has been detained by ICE, now's the time to come together in unity and show compassion. Let me tell you, people on both sides feel no sympathy for her. Some people that, because they're like, oh, she wanted a mistake is changing lanes and forgetting this to signal. She didn't make a mistake. She made a very intentional choice to inflict pain on others, and now is asking for empathy she didn't have for the people she harmed. So here, let's take a look at this. And somebody else.
Through something like this behind bars. He has lived in Florida for more than half his life and worked for the same construction job for many decades. Every day that goes without him here is a day lost forever. This is about being human, about love, connection, and presence. The one thing he needs the most is the one thing that we're being kept from giving him, which is us. I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his vital memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
My vote, again, is to deny the request for conditional medical release.
When I voted for Trump, I supported the very system that allows this kind of cruelty to happen. I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. My vote wasn't just a mistake, it was the ultimate betrayal of the very people that I come from. I feel like living in South Florida, surrounded by Republican voices, I was brainwashed into thinking I was one of them. I fell for the propaganda, the normalization of cruelty, and I believed the lies that gave me a false sense of security and belonging. I was convinced that voting for Trump was for the economy or against crime, when in reality I was supporting a man and a movement that dehumanizes people. He basically built his platform on targeting immigrants, spreading hate, and pushing policies that ultimately broke families apart.
So she's flipped. Even though she voted for it and had no problem, now that she was personally affected, she's flipped. She's on the other side now.
I regret my vote so deeply, and if I could go back and change it, I would. I'm reading, listening, learning, and unlearning everything that I thought I knew. And to anyone who is feeling the same regret as I am, I want you guys to know that there's still a way for us to move forward, but it starts with honesty first. To every single person who has been affected by the choice that I made, I am so sorry. A lot of you aren't going to forgive me, and I'm really not expecting anyone to, but I just want everyone to know that I'm going to move forward with more compassion, continue educating myself, and fight for those who can't fight for themselves.
Damn. So she said her dad got deported. Then why are farmers begging Trump not to deport their workers? This isn't her though. This is hold on. I want to show which story is it. We did those already. They're saying, I don't know if this is really, this lady that did this song, they're saying this is her. She said her family got deported too. Let me show you.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building.
I don't know if that's really her. They're saying
Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
That's unfair. It is unfair. I'm so sorry. I can't.
Let me ask you.
I don't know how I'm going to say that to my mom. My mom has a hard time.
Judelka Mejia cannot believe she's going back home without her nephew, 29-year-old Yasael Almonte Mejia. Like many other immigrants, when their case is dismissed, they are detained at the hallway.
I don't know. Is that really her? I will fall down, old Trump. So deportation is happening in mass. Some people aren't happy. This was another one. This was ICE agents tracked down illegal Asian man. This is kind of weird.
I see you now.
What's your name, sir?
Say
your name.
Jesus.
Are you from
Joe
here?
Mill.
Oh my God, they're just taking this man, dude.
I see you.
Dude, you guys.
Yeah, that one lady that got her followers taken. What is it? I don't believe her. I know. I was wondering. Is it like was it some type of screenplay or something, or a script or something?
This is so scary, you guys. Poor man, dude. Like, so many people are taking this man.
I don't know. So now somebody else caught up. This one was kind of interesting too. This is ICE deports wife of U.S. Army sergeant.
He's selling everything he owns and moving to Honduras to be reunited with his wife and their 1-year-old son.
A chill that came down my spine. It felt almost as bad as finding out that she got taken in by ICE, but at the same time, I have the possibility of going to see her again.
That's exactly what Isaac will be doing as he prepares to leave the United States and move to Honduras to be reunited with his wife, Shirley Guardado, who had been in federal custody for more than 3 months. I spoke to Shirley on FaceTime and she tells me it's been difficult. She was taken from Montgomery Processing Center in Conroe. She had both her hands and feet in chains in a plane full of men. She says there were only 7 women. They were taken to Louisiana, then back to Texas and El Paso, and then to Honduras.
This administration, they're being heartless. They're targeting people coming out of their cases, their hearings. I don't know, they're out of control right now.
Correa says he is disappointed in President Donald Trump as he voted for him and trusted that he would only target violent criminals. In addition, he served this country as an active duty member of the U.S. Army.
It is actually
Sirens going off in Israel.
Oh, Israel? Damn. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the 10, Randy. Kid and play.
That kid and play law.
Well, again, shout out this guy, I guess. I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh. Oh. Arak, thank you. Appreciate the super chat and membership. Love you too. I will vote. Well, we got almost 4,000 votes. 52% said yes, strike. 48% say no. Look at this, guys. Oh. Oh. They're saying a Starship, SpaceX Starship exploded. SpaceX rocket explodes in Starbase, Texas. That's what you get for fucking around with Trump. We gotta check that out. I will vote for Donald Trump. Let's check out this thing over here.
Yeah, probably. I mean, even the other day when they... Whoa!
Whoa! What? That's
no!
Bruh.
Oh my god. It appears there has been a
Ship
row.
36 just blew up. Yeah, probably. I mean, even the other day when they... Whoa!
Whoa!
That shit blew up. They're saying a static fire test. That shit blew up. End of times. I will vote for Donald Trump. Iran's just hoping to hit something. Anything. I will vote. I guess those are that's it for the sirens. Whoa. Whoa. This is live. It's literally live right now. Damn. Oh, sirens again. Oh. Okay, guys, I might start a new stream. I don't know, just to cover this a little bit. But I want, because I gotta take care of the copyright thing on this stream. Let's see. I will vote for Donald Trump. Well, let's see if it's over. I will vote. Okay, let me put this on the side and keep an eye on it. Keep an eye.
Exhausting. You know, putting my life on the line for this country was not an easy decision. And I honestly just feel betrayed.
In a video shared with us by Noticias Telemundo, it was caught on camera the moment Shirley touched down in Honduras. While she's free and Isaac can call her at any time, for now, video calls will suffice until they meet again.
Uh-oh. Thought another one was coming. Crazy out there. Oh, this lady passed away, by the way. The Food Star Network, I was surprised. 55 years old. Passed away. I thought she looked like she was in good health to me. I didn't know if something was going on with her. But apparently she had some vaccine pictures that she had posted, but let's see if they've said anything about the cause of death. She died suddenly at 55. Found unresponsive and unconscious. They suspected cardiac arrest, but during an autopsy. She was in the shows Worst Cooks in America, Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, and Iron Chef America. It's crazy. I don't know. I used to watch her sometimes on the Food Channel. I will vote for Donald Trump. This was today. Local residents surround law enforcement and shout right in their faces. Every single one of these people should have been arrested. Let's see.
What's your badge number, homeboy? What's your badge number, homeboy? You're a bitch, homie. Straight up, you a bitch.
What's your badge number? What's your
I want to be wiping.
What's your badge number?
What's your badge number, bitch?
What's your badge number? Stay inside. Do not come out.
Badge number, you bitch.
Stay inside. Do not come out.
Danilo. ¿Cómo estamos? Gracias por apoyar, gracias por
Estamos.
Oh, it's going again. Oh no, that's the emergency services. Alright guys, I guess that's it for tonight. It's kind of late, but I will stay tuned, keep an eye on this stuff. Crazy to see that that rocket ship explode. But they got another video of it. Hold on. These. Oh, no matter. What's Elon got to say about that? I don't know. Alright guys, but thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Have a good night. Take care. I'm going to get some rest. I'll see you tomorrow.